Well, good news all round for the English sides, because Nottingham Forest are not only ahead as well against FC Porto. FC Porto down to 10 men as well. Jan Bednarek has been sent off, and Morgan Gibbs-White has scored for Forest. So they're 2-1 up now on aggregate after that first leg draw. And FC Porto have got to play over 80 minutes down to 10 men. So it's looking very, very likely that it's going to be an English team in the Europa League final this year. It was an all English final last year, of course, between Tottenham and Manchester United. This year, it's looking like a semi-final between Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest, a two-legged affair, of course. And potentially, of course, English teams could win all three of the European competitions. In comes across on the right-hand side for Fiorentina. That's got far too much on it. Goes behind the goal kick. So Real Betis are in the lead against Sporting Braga. That was 1-1 from the first leg. And Anthony, who's done so well since he went to Spain from Manchester United, has scored. So Betis are a goal to the good. And they're in trouble here again, Fiorentina. Here they come for 2-0. Shot comes in, saved by the goalkeeper. And it was that man, Ismaili Sarr, again. Long ball over the top. Ismaili Sarr's onto it. I think he could have taken it on a little bit further. He gets the shot in from just inside the penalty area, right-footed. Just went for pace, really, to try and beat David De Gea, who was equal to it. It was a save you would expect the Spaniard to make. Didn't quite get hold of it how he'd like to have there, Ismaili Sarr. But Fiorentina are all over the place at the back, and Palace looking to take advantage. Ball's going to play down this near side. They will have a throw-in right next to the corner flag, and it'll be taken by Chris Richards. The long throw again for Palace. And it comes. David De Gea comes for it. In fact, David De Gea claims that quite easily on the edge of his 6-yard area, and then wastes no time at all in kicking long from hands down the centre. Can Fiorentina break? They have it with Goodmanson. Goodmanson out towards the right-hand side of the penalty area. It goes square across the edge of the 18-yard line, and in the end, it was Rolando Mandragora who desperately wanted a free kick and went down far too easily for my liking. Palace clear. Fiorentina have it again, though. Dinked in towards that penalty area. Bounces once, goes through. Dean Henderson has it. 20 minutes played here in Florence. Fiorentina 0, Crystal Palace 1. And in fact, the only game that hasn't now had a goal is the game between Strasbourg and Mainz. That one is 2-0 to Mainz from the first leg, so it appears pretty comfortable. Wharton loops one out towards the far side for Crystal Palace, who are cruising here in Italy. Here's Kamada. Kamada knocks it to the left and finds Mitchell. Mitchell goes long, but that's got too much on it, and that'll be tidied up. It'll be retrieved over on the far side for the host by Pongragic. Finds Camuso, edge of the D. Forward it goes to Fagioli. Fagioli just outside the centre circle. Goes back to Camuso again. Square now to Ranieri. Ranieri closed down by the goalscorer Sarr. And then total miscommunication there between Camuso and Pongragic. And Camuso has put the ball out of play over the far side. Crystal Palace throw-in. They're a beaten team here. Fiorentina, if they weren't before kick-off, they certainly are now after that goal for Palace. Palace take the throw midway inside the Fiorentina half, go all the way back towards the centre circle with Richards. Here's Ismaili Sarr on the go again, but his touch is just a little bit heavy. Challenge comes in, ball goes back to David De Gea, clears first time down the centre. Palace get it clear. Croy with the header, comes down inside the centre circle, and that'll be a free kick for the host because Magora is brought down by Kamada. So free kick to Fiorentina, right hand side of the centre circle. And the winners of this one, by the way, will play Shakhtar Donetsk, who won early against AZ. They drew 2-2 actually, but 5-2 on aggregate. They got the job done in the first leg. So it'll be Shakhtar Donetsk. It was almost certainly going to be Shakhtar Donetsk versus Crystal Palace, isn't it? And the other two, it's AEK Athens against Rayo Vallecano. It's 3-1 to Rayo Vallecano, that one on aggregate. So it's a long way back for AEK Athens. You'd expect Vallecano to get through, and Strasbourg and Mainz as well. Mainz have got a 2-goal lead, so it could well be Vallecano against Mainz in the other semi-final. And in the Europa League, it looks like it could well be Villa v Forest, and it could be Betis versus Freiburg. Fiorentina have possession. Knocked out towards this near side. They then go long towards the edge of the penalty area. It's knocked down towards Solomon. Cleared by Palace towards the halfway line. Sarr onto Mateta. Mateta turns just right of the centre circle. Back it goes. Kamada inside the centre circle for Crystal Palace. Fancying more here, Palace. They are knocking the ball around quite nicely. Just as I say that, they lose possession though. Sarr loses possession. And Fiorentina can bring it clear down this left-hand side. Over the halfway line they come with Solomon. Solomon goes back towards Fagioli, just outside the centre circle. They work it out towards the far side. Crossing opportunity now, possibly, but they've decided against that, the team from Florence. And comes out towards this near side. Palace have got, their next game is a London derby Monday night against relegation-threatened West Ham, who of course know all about the Conference League, of course, because they won it a few years ago. They then got an away game against Liverpool, away game against Bournemouth, home to Everton, away to Brentford, another London derby. They then play Manchester City on the 22nd of May, and the 24th of May they play Arsenal. So they do play the 2 title challenge. Here come Fiorentina, edge of the penalty area. They want a free kick, they don't get it. Shot comes in, well saved by Dean Henderson. Pushes it wide for a corner. Solomon just spoke perfectly then for the Israeli. Left-footed, just inside the penalty area. Drilled it towards the far post. Good save by Dean Henderson. Good height for the goalkeeper. It's one you'd expect him to make. But it's a good effort. Got hold of it well. And it's Fiorentina's first corner of the evening to be taken from the far, their second corner, I should say. Palace haven't had one yet, have they? 2 corners. In it comes, left-footed. There's the header. Oh, and cleared inside the 6-yard area. Good clearance as well. It was a header on, and Campo got it clear. Fiorentina have kept possession. They've gone all the way back to the goalkeeper. And knocked out towards this near side. The dates for those semi-finals, by the way, the 29th and the 30th of April, and then the 6th and 7th of May, they are the dates for the semi-finals. And the final, are we getting a little bit ahead of ourselves talking about the final already? But the Conference League final, well, there will be a Conference League final. Whether Crystal Palace get there yet remains to be seen. Would be on Wednesday, the 27th of May, which is going to be 3 days after the last day of the Premier League season. Fiorentina have possession now. Over the halfway line they come. Here's Mandragora out towards the far side. Having a good little spell, actually, the Italians here. Cross comes in, left-footed. It's a decent delivery, and it's headed clear. And back into the mix. And in the end, well, there's a Fiorentina player gone down inside the penalty area. Mandragora under a challenge from Lacroix. And the referee has pointed to the spot. Cross comes in. Headed clear. Well, was it a high boot? Was it a high boot in there? Just looking at a replay of it. Well, it looked like the Fiorentina player had the high boot, but then as his boot came up, it was Campo made contact with the high boot, but the referee has given a penalty here. We double-checked by VAR. There was so much to clear up in there because it looked like it might have been a foul before that on a Palace player inside the 6-yard area. As the cross came in, there was so much to dissect. We'll just have to wait for VAR to check all this. As it stands, the ball is in the hand of Albert Gudmundsson, the Icelandic, as he prepares a penalty for Fiorentina to try and get them level here. Dean Henderson in goal for Palace. There's absolutely no denying that Campo's leg kicked the Fiorentina player. But the first question there is, was his leg up high anyway? Was his foot high? Well, it looked like it was to me, and it looked like there might have been a foul before that on the Palace player. I've only seen one replay of it, so it's very difficult to dissect at the moment. If I get to see any more of it, I'll let you know. But before all that, there's a little bit of concern. Well, there's concern for Palace anyway if they're facing a penalty, but there's concern at the moment for Adam Wharton, who is to the right-hand side of the D, down, injured. So cross comes in, getting a replay of it now. And as the ball is cleared towards the edge of the 6-yard area, Mandragora sort of flicks it up. The ball is well off the ground. His leg goes up to make contact with the ball. And, well, Adam Wharton is going to be replaced here, and he doesn't look comfortable at all. He's coming towards his near side. Crystal Palace are having to make a change in, and force change. Well, I don't know if this is going to be a start of a dramatic comeback here at Fiorentina. It certainly doesn't feel that way at the moment, but you never know. But Adam Wharton is going to be replaced for Crystal Palace just before the half-hour mark. Well, I haven't been told of any changes via VAR, so I can only assume that this penalty is going to take place. Here's the change for Palace, though, before all that. They're having to bring on Jefferson Lerma, the Colombian, in place of Adam Wharton, who unfortunately has had to go off. They've got a penalty now to face, which will be taken by Albert Gudmundsson for Fiorentina. It's all been cleared by VAR, so in the 30th minute, short run-up for the Icelandic, right-footed, Dean Henderson in goal. Fiorentina 0, Crystal Palace 1. This is to get them level on the night. 4-0 down on aggregate. Gudmundsson steps up, right-footed, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Henderson goes to the left, the ball goes to the right, and on the half-hour mark, have Fiorentina got themselves a lifeline. On the night, Fiorentina 1, Crystal Palace 1. Palace still comfortable, though, leading by 4-1 on aggregate. Well, I think it was one of those, the penalty decision. I don't think it was going to be overturned. I think whatever the decision was on the pitch was going to stand. And our referee, Jesus Gil Manzano, wasted no time at all in pointing to the spot when J.D. Cambo's foot connected with Rolando Mandragora's leg. And the Icelandic Albert Gudmundsson making no mistake from the penalty spot. Short run-up, stepped up, right-footed, drilled it to the goalkeeper's right-hand side, tucked it in the corner. Keeper gone the wrong way anyway. Don't think he would have saved it if he'd gone the right way. Chris Richards is preparing the latest of these long throws for Palace. It's almost level with the edge of the penalty area down the right-hand side. He's already had a couple of these. The last one was straight into the arms of David De Gea. But before all that happens, well, what's happening here? Well, I'll tell you who's the most animated man in the stadium at the moment. It's Paolo Vanoli, the Fiorentina manager, is getting involved. And I can only assume he's complaining about the amount of time that Chris Richards is taking to take this throw in for Palace. This time will be added on. In it comes eventually. Clear towards the edge of the penalty area. It's headed back in there. Down towards the byline. Can they keep the ball in play? It's looped in. Had the ball already gone out? According to the fourth official, yes. According to the linesman, sorry, yes it has. It was Munoz who tried to keep that one in play. Couldn't wrap his foot around it. And it's gone behind, and it's a goal kick for a Fiorentina side who just sensed something here. They needed something, didn't they? They've got that penalty. And they've got themselves level. Palace have won the ball back, though. Edge of the penalty area, sloppy by the Italians. Cross has got to come in, surely. In comes the cross. Oh, there's the header. It's not a good one at all. Not a good one. Well over the bar from Jefferson Lerma. And behind for a goal kick. Goal kick then for Fiorentina. Still plenty of action going down on the touchline involving the Fiorentina manager as they play out from the back. Here's Gossens, he goes long. There's the header clear for Richards. Straight to a Fiorentina player, though, in Nicola Fagioli goes out towards the far side. I tell you what, if Fiorentina could get a goal before half-time, it might make it interesting. Coming out at the start of the second, having been 4-0 down on aggregate, if they could half that down to 4-2. Tyreek Mitchell's making a burst down the left-hand side. Has the ball gone out of play? It has gone out of play, but it will be a Palace throw. He's taking a quick one. Good one as well. Edge of the penalty area. Shot comes in, blazed over the bar by Yeremy Pino. I think he should have done better. Real lack of quality there from the Spaniard. Right-footed. It just opened up for him nicely, just inside the Fiorentina half, and right-footed. He's trying to curl it towards the far post. Got right underneath it. And it's behind for a goal kick to Fiorentina. David De Gea places the ball down again. Knocks it short, intent on playing out from the back. The Italians. Got to be careful here. Mandragora goes back inside the penalty area again and eventually goes back to the man in all red, David De Gea. Low out towards Ranieri now. Ranieri onto Gossens. Closed down by Ismaili Sarr. Goes back to David De Gea once more. Brings it towards the edge of the penalty and then knocks it out towards that far side. Low ball towards the halfway line. It's not a bad one, actually, towards Goodmanson, the goal scorer for Fiorentina from 12 yards out. Over the halfway line they come. Here's Solomon. Quite impressive, actually. Looking for the return ball inside the penalty area. Challenge comes in. It might fall kindly. Shot comes in. It's deflected. It's gone behind. It'll be a corner. They're all over the place there, Palace. And a couple of the players have gone down as well, making desperate lunges to prevent the shot coming in. And in the end, it was blocked by the man who conceded the penalty, of course, Campo. Corner then for Fiorentina, their third of the evening. More concern for Crystal Palace. They've already had to replace Adam Wharton with an injury, but Lacroix has gone down now as well inside that penalty area. Just looking at a replay of this, well, he went into his own player. It was a challenge. Two Palace players going for the same ball, Munoz and Lacroix.
Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok.
Welcome back to Fiorentina for the second half of this Europa Conference League quarterfinal second leg. Crystal Palace 3-0 up from the first leg. It's one apiece at half-time on the night. Palace into the lead in the 17th minute. Ismail Sarr with the goal, and equaliser from the penalty spot. Goodmanson with that goal, and there is a change, or a couple of changes actually, to tell you about for the second half. Sharon Dour, the number 27, coming on for Fiorentina to replace Nicola Fagioli. And for Palace, who've already had to make 2 changes, well, they're also bringing off Jean-Philippe Mateta, who's going to be replaced by Jorgen Strand-Larsen. Jefferson Lerma and Jaddy Riyad had to come on in the first half due to injuries to Max de Crooy and Adam Wharton. Game about to get underway then in the second period here. Fiorentina are going to get us underway in their usual home strip, and they'll be playing from left to right in the second period. Crystal Palace are in the change strip, the white strip, this evening, and for Fiorentina it's the deep purple, the violet kit from top to bottom, playing from left to right. Our referee is Jesus Gil Manzano from Spain. So De Gea in goal for Fiorentina. The 3 centre-backs, Ranieri, Camuso and Pongracic. Camuso and Pongracic both on yellow cards. Then Gostin's over on the left, Harrison on the right. Then you've now got Ndor and Mandragora in the centre. Then Solomon, Goodmanson and Piccoli leading the line for Palace. Henderson in goal. Cambo, the back 3 now, Cambo, and you've got Riyad on now, along with Richards. The 4 across the centre, Mitchell, Kamada, Jefferson, Lerma now and Munoz. And then up top, Pino on the left, he's on the yellow card. That's the only yellow card so far for Palace. Sarr, the goal scorer on the right, and Mateta replaced by ex-Wolves man Jorgen Strand-Larsen, the Norwegian, for this second period. So it's 1 apiece on the night, 4-1 to Palace on aggregate, as they have possession down this near side, although they lose it. A little bit scrappy on the halfway line. Then the long ball down the line, down this right-hand side. Jack Harrison will chase, and the man from on loan from Leeds is not going to get there. It's got too much pace on it. It's out of play. It's a throw-in for Palace in their left-back position. Keep you up to date with everything else that's going on across Europe this evening. And Aston Villa are flying. They're 3-0 up against Bologna in the Europa League. They're on their way through to the semis, as are Nottingham Forest. They're beating FC Porto, who are also down to 10 men in this competition. AEK are 3-0 up against Rayo Vallecano. Wow, I mean, what a story that is. AEK Athens were 3-0 down from the first leg, and they've just got a goal at the start of the second. They're now 3-0 up against Rayo Vallecano. It's 3 apiece in aggregate. Strasbourg are trying to do the same against Mainz. They were 2-0 down from the first leg. They're 2-0 up now, 2 apiece on aggregate. And Real Betis against Sporting Braga. That one is 2 apiece on the night, 3 apiece on aggregate in the Europa League. Fiorentina have possession over on the far side. And Gossens sweeps it out towards this near side. A little bit of space now for Jack Harrison. Harrison now, right-hand side of the penalty area, to get the ball into the box. Now he cuts it in field towards Mandragora. He goes towards that far post, and there's a stretching header there at the far post. But it's gone well wide, and it's gone behind for a goal kick to Crystal Palace. Gossens it was, ghosting in at the back there behind Munoz. Couldn't keep his header down, couldn't get the connection he wanted. Goal kick for Palace. Dean Henderson will take this one. Right-footed, he's going to go long. Drills it down the centre. Cushioned header clear out towards near side. Harrison flicks it on towards the halfway line for Fiorentina. If they could get a goal early stages of this second half, Fiorentina, it could make it interesting. It could just leave the door slightly ajar for a very, very unlikely comeback from the Italians, currently sitting in 15th place, I should say, in the Italian league. Palace currently 13th in the Premier League, in a fairly congested area of the table for Fiorentina. They're on 35 and a point behind the likes of Parma and Genoa. They're certainly not going to qualify for Europe via their league position, nor too are Crystal Palace. It's all on this tournament now, isn't it, to try and win it and qualify for the Europa League next season. Ball's got another player on the far side. Throw in for Crystal Palace, midway inside their own half. And down their right-hand side, it'll be taken by Daniel Munoz. Munoz with the header towards Kamada. Kamada loops one over towards this near side. And back it goes from Munoz towards the edge of the penalty area. Chris Richards goes square out towards the far side. Cambo down the line. He conceded the penalty. That gave Fiorentina just a glimmer. Kamada goes long. That one's controlled though by Camuso. Gets it clear over towards the far side. Ranieri goes long, left-footed. There's the header clear out towards this near side. Brought down beautifully as well for Crystal Palace in the form of Jeremy Pino. Pino with a shot pushed behind by the goalkeeper. Corner for Palace. Really well worked there between Pino and Kamada. Pino onto Kamada. Right-footed shot drilled. Just went straight at the goalkeeper in the end. He gets a good connection on it. Good power, but just straight at De Gea, who pushed it behind, and Crystal Palace have their first corner of the evening in the 51st minute from the far side, the Palace right. Opportunity now for Palace to get their noses back in front on the night. It's going to be a right-footed out-swinging corner from that far side. Floated in. Sails over everybody ahead. Cleared up towards this near side. Retrieved though by Kamada. Down towards the byline. He goes low ball into that near post, and it's cleared out towards this near side. Retrieved though by Jefferson Lerma. Lerma goes back towards Tyreek Mitchell. Drills one diagonally from left to right towards that far post. It's a good one as well. And there's the header from Chris Richards. Couldn't get it on target, the American. And it goes behind harmlessly for a goal kick to Fiorentina. It's an inviting ball in towards that far post. And Richards gets there above Gottens. Couldn't keep it down. Goal kick for Fiorentina. 52 minutes played, one apiece on the night. Here's Pongragic down this near side, and that's just gone out of play. I think it took a little nick off of Tyreek Mitchell. Indeed it did. So it's a throw into Fiorentina, midway inside the Palace half, down the Fiorentina right-hand side. And it'll be taken by Pongragic, long towards the edge of the Palace penalty area. Cleared long and out towards this near side. Tidied up nicely though for Fiorentina by Camuso. Goes all the way back in the end to David De Gea just inside the 6-yard area. And De Gea sets Camuso on his way again. Square to Ranieri on his left-hand side. Ranieri now with a nice ball over the halfway line. A little bit of space as well. Opens up there for Sharon Dur, the substitute. He's gone down. The referee's allowed play to continue. He was fouled. The referee's allowed it to go on because Fiorentina still have possession. And Dur's back on his feet now. And he's going to go for a shot. Oh! And he finds the bottom corner. And this has suddenly got interesting because they've got another one. And it's the substitute Sharon Dur who's banged one into that bottom corner, right-footed. It's a real daisy cutter, it really is. But perfection. He slotted it into the corner beyond Dean Henderson. And it's Fiorentina 2, Palace 1 on the night. It's game on here. Right-footed. It's an absolutely brilliant finish. He's drilled that with so much power. Right-footed. He's kept it low. Henderson can't get near it. Complaining his defenders didn't close him down quick enough. One-sided goal for the substitute who came on at half-time. And he may just have given Fiorentina a lifeline here in Florence. It's Fiorentina 2, Crystal Palace 1, and it's 4-2 on aggregate. Well, you never know. You never know. Sharon Dur. And an inspired substitution there for Paolo Bonoli. And now suddenly, with still about 35 minutes left for play, this could get a little bit awkward for Palace, couldn't it? And it certainly didn't look that way when they went a goal to the good in the first half. They've won possession back midway inside their own half. But they're quick to give it back, and it's sloppy play by Jefferson Lerma. Actually should have done better now. There was a run being made down the left-hand side by Tyreek Mitchell. Should have found him, kept hold of the ball for just a fraction too long. Allowed the challenge to come in, and It's back with Fiorentina now just outside the centre circle with Camuso. Square to Pongracic. Tries to go long. It hits the number 10, Pino. Then they go long again. Richards gets the header clear this time out towards Tyreek Mitchell. Loops it clear down this near side, but it's going to go out of play. So it'll be a throw-in for Fiorentina on the halfway line down their right-hand side. It'll be taken by Marin Pongracic, the Croatian. Throws it back inside his own half to Camuso. Now Ranieri's inside the centre circle. Finds Gossens over on that far side. Well, I did say if they could get a goal early stages of this second half, and maybe, just maybe, things could be happening for Fiorentina. Still a long way to go from here. Palace still in a relatively comfortable position. 2 goals to the good, but you never know. And here come the Italians now over the halfway line. They've got to work it out towards the left-hand side, you feel. Eventually they do. Low ball into the box, cleared at near post corner. Good defending, actually, by Cambo to put the ball behind. But it will be a corner for Fiorentina. Their 6th of the evening. And I did say that just prior to Ndor scoring, he was fouled in the build-up, and there's a yellow card for Ismail Sarr for that challenge, which was retrospectively awarded for the Crystal Palace goal scorer. Corner's taken, cleared by Palace. Recycled again out towards the far side, though, for Fiorentina, who are fancying this now. They've got wind in their sails as Gossens gets the cross in, and it's headed clear on the edge of the 6-yard area for Palace. They're camped inside the Palace half, though, at the moment, the Italians, as they look to find a 3rd goal. Back it goes to Camuso. Plays it inside the centre circle to their goal scorer, or their latest goal scorer, Ndor. Spreads play towards his near side. Mandragora. Low ball back inside the centre circle. And that's a poor ball over towards the far side. It's cut out well by Munoz now of Palace. Got it in them to break. There's the ball down the line. Ismail Sarr, right inside of the penalty area. Terrible ball in. And he'll actually go out for a throw-in down this near side. Really, really poor delivery from the Senegalese. So throw-in for Fiorentina in their right-back position. Jack Harrison currently has the ball in his hand, but I don't think he's going to take it. It's almost as if he sort of stood there waiting for somebody to take the ball off him. And Braga are now 3-2 up against Betis in the Europa League. They're now leading 4-3 on aggregate. And they were 2-0 down on the night. 2-0 down on the night. 3-1 on aggregate. They've scored 3 goals. Ricardo Horta's got the latest from the penalty spot. And they now lead Real Betis by, on aggregate, by 4 goals.